And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be doing the story quest A Nightmare's End. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So given I've finally done floor 50 of Palace of the Dead, and we've seen closure to the story of whatever happened to Edda at the end of Tam-Tara Hard Mode, this quest will actually give us complete closure. So the quest is called The Nightmare's End. So the Wood Wailer is convinced he knows you and has heard your name somewhere before, so let's accept. So I say, aren't you that adventurer who's been exploring the Palace of the Dead? Mithrie, isn't it? You've caused quite a stir among the men. Indeed, everyone in the Shroud speaks of your daring, some more favourably than others. You see, there's a lot of fell who came to Busker Ron's Duffers a few days ago past. He practically lives in the tavern now, always deep in his cups, muttering about dead friends and vengeful spirits. He mentioned your name amidst his ramblings, several times in fact. We usually pay no mind to drunkards at the tavern, but to be frank, he's become something of a nuisance. Perhaps you could speak with him? If the gods are good, you'll catch him in a moment of sobriety. Okay, so now let's go to blah 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 and see blah 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 blah. And let's see what's going on. So if you guys remember the end of Tam-Tara Deepcroft Hard, Edda is still convinced that she's engaged to her husband, even though her husband has become basically a ghoul. And she, after you defeat her, she like falls into the abyss. And then it turns out that the abyss, when she fell down, she ended up being just the boss in Palace of the Dead. So obviously she wasn't given peace, she was turned into an even more evil thing. But you've now released her. You've released her spirit. So anyway, let us now... So it's interesting how these little characters... Okay, here's Pale Rail. Can carry on. So barkeep, another bottle. The strong stuff this time. How's a man to drown his troubles in this tepid piss you call ale? I said, huh? Mithrie, that the gods would deliver you to me a third time. If anyone can help me, surely it's you. After our ordeal in Tam-Tara Deepcroft, I tried to return home, but it's no use. Try as I might, I cannot stop thinking about her, about Edda. You saw her? What? Where? This is her engagement ring. I'd recognize the design anywhere. She would always keep this in her breast pocket for fear it would get dirty on our outings. Strange that it would find its way to you. Back to this place. I realize this is sudden, but would you accompany me to the bridge just outside? I'd like you to help me with something. Like maybe this is the pre-quest for doing 51 to 100 in Palace of the Dead in patch 3.45. Like, who knows? It probably is, to be honest, given it flows from Palace of the Dead. Okay, let's talk to him. Okay, cutscene. So, thank you for coming. I thought my heart would burst from my chest when I laid eyes on that ring. Would that I could forget the horrors of that damnable crypt. Seems the best I can do is drown them in ale. Perhaps this is a punishment for the way we treated her. Every night when I close my eyes I can still see them, Edda and her ghastly grin, and the abomination she dared to call FFXIV. The dream is always the same. We wish to return home, they tell me. I fear if I don't grant this request they will haunt me till my dying day. My first thought was to hold a small remembrance service of sorts to honour them. Then I asked myself, what good would that do without bodies or even a keepsake? Then I remembered her engagement rings, a symbol of their innocence and purity, of a time before this calamity befell them. With those in hand, I could do my part to put their souls to rest. Of course, that would have meant returning to that awful place, to seek out and retrieve the ring from her. I cursed myself for running away the last time we met. If I stayed with you by my side, perhaps I could have found the courage to try. Yet fate hath conspired to bring you here, and with Edda's ring, now we need only find a verbs to complete the set. So is a verb going to be the last boss of floor 100? Now I know what you're thinking, and no, I will not ask you to accompany me back to Tam-Tara Deepcroft. Thankfully that won't be necessary. You see, the night before our faithful foray into Deepcroft, Verve and I went to the Drovers for perhaps one too many drinks. We stumbled outside in a drunken stupor, and it was here that he fell into the river. We thought it hysterical, that is until we realised that not only were his gauntlets missing, but his ring as well. There was no use searching for it in the dark, so we decided to return at first light, but alas, we never found it. Edda could never know. Now, I would make things right. To do that, we must retrieve Verve's ring. Come, I very much doubt these shallow waters would carry his gauntlets far. Okay, interesting, interesting. Okay, there they are. Lol. Rusted gauntlets. So you find a pair of old rusted gauntlets. A cursory shake dislodges a dull ring from within. Okay, found it. Let's give it back to Pale Rail. So you found this gauntlet, truly? What of the ring? Please tell me it was still inside. Let's hand over Verve's ring. It says, a blood-encrusted ring found affixed to a pair of rusted gauntlets. Yes, this is it. Now all remains is to find a place where we might lay their rings, and hopefully their spirits to rest. Perhaps the Linz of Laminza? It was after all where we all met. What could be better than a beautiful view of the maritime city where their love first blossomed? I can think of no better place than Summerford. Meet me near the top of the skylift. I know a nice little spot with a beautiful view of Limsa. Okay, so let's go to Limsa Laminza. Pew. Teleporting in progress. Okay, so we need to go to Summerford. Okay, what's the quickest way to get there? Oh, actually, the quickest way would have been to just go to Summerford Farm. Lol, rip. Never mind. 3 years in this game already. Jeez. Wheeze. Blood. Wheeze. Blood. So I hope Final Fantasy XV is a triumph and it doesn't turn into, look, there's 4 guys driving a car simulator. But we will see. Given the sheer quality of Kingsglaive and the Brotherhood anime in terms of story, hopefully the story in 15 will be really amazing as well. Okay, so we're almost there now. We have to go right here. Here he is. Here's Pale Rail. Here's a nice view. Just hope we don't throw the rings into the flippin' river. So would you look at that? That brings such fond memories. Now let us offer up our prayers to the dearly departed. So even in death they suffer together, down there in the dark. Verve Edda, I pray you sleep and finally know true peace. And with that I believe we're finished here. Already I can feel a great weight has been lifted from my mind. Perhaps I may even enjoy a good night's rest. Words cannot express my gratitude, Mithrie. You've seen me through much and shown me what it means to be an adventurer. Our party lacked unity and paid dearly for it. No one should suffer as they did, and I will do all I can to see others be heroes. Do not succumb to such a fate. I salute you. Thank you. ... Okay, that's complete. Interesting. So you get the achievement, I'll sleep when I'm dead. So that's what real life can feel like these days. So we did that quest. We also get the title, The Chief Mourner. That's depressing as hell. So, anyway guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie.